This is this is a song that we sing when the mic starts. Hello and welcome to the TB&J Open Mic. I'll spotlight myself real quick, and Brooks will keep, I guess, giving me a sick beat in the background. Welcome to the show. I'm really excited. I'm going to be your host tonight. My name's Tom. Alongside with me is the ever glorious, the ever rhythmic Brooks and Bum Poopson. Before we get started, I'm going to do a quick review of our policies, especially because everybody in the room right now has never been on the mic before and has no idea what I'm about to say next. Spooky. We got a 2-strike heckling policy. First strike will mute you. Second strike, i.e. doing anything weird on your camera. I'm probably just giving people ideas of stuff to do at that point. But if you do that, we'll kick you out of the room. Next, we have a 0 tolerance harassment policy. 0. And yeah, so if you're feeling harassed, send a private message to either me or Brooks and we'll kick them out. No questions asked. And when you perform, you can switch to gallery view or pin the timer cube to see when your 4 minutes are up. And you can private message me or Brooks before your set if you want to tell us that you need an audible cue, and we'll say 1 minute sensually into the microphone. And networkers, don't forget to plug your socials in the chat when you're done. For our audience, special note that this is an open mic, so the comedians performing come to us with varying levels of experience, so be nice. Also, the content featured on this show and all of our shows may not be suitable for all audiences. You have been warned. Also, plug for Fancy Mike, the District Comedy Showcase, tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Oh my god, it's too exciting! I'm gonna explode! Mark your calendars for tomorrow, or just come. That would also be great. And if you would like to support the stream, please consider making a donation of any size. And if you can't make a donation, consider sharing the stream. All of the links you'll ever need in your life, as far as our website or how to share our stuff, is gonna be in the episode description. So now, I'm gonna get us started. Give it up for our first comedian, Tom! Woo! Started spinning too much. Got a little precarious there for a second. So I just got my second shot of the COVID vaccine. Yeah. That's right. I am not one of those anti-vaxxers. That's not one of the hot versions of toxic masculinity that are so prominent in the gay community. But let me tell you, it was an experience. So first of all, I lucked out, and I had the same guy twice for this. And like, I will tell you, he was like, so it was at this like community college that they had turned into like a mass vaccination site. And this guy, they were having like these guys in military uniforms dosing out all these vaccines. And this guy was like, he was like a mix of Henry Cavill, I think that's how you say his name, and Ryan Reynolds. Like, he's really hot, but like there's something about him that was like, you're a little bit insecure, so therefore in my league. Like, that much more approachable, you know? So like, naturally, when I got the first shot, I was like, oh my god, can you calm down? You're clearly obsessed with me. Like, you need to do your job. But like, Pfizer is the perfect excuse to have a second date with somebody. Am I right? Like, oh, do I need 2 doses, or are you just in love with me? Probably the latter. Or I'm a narcissist. One of those is probably true. I'm a comedian. I don't know. Any other comedians also narcissists? Raise your hand. Put it in the chat. Put it in the comments. But yeah, like, yeah, I don't know. You guys are probably thinking, though, like, Tom, don't you have a fiance that you talk about all the time that you're in love with? Should you really be talking about other men this way? And to answer that, yes, I do have a fiance, but loving my fiance and loving threesomes are not mutually exclusive. I'll also let a bitch stab me if he's also going to be stabbing my fiance with his vaccine. Am I right? Am I right? Yeah, he is dropping down what I am picking up, and in other news, I also hate my boss at my current job. So I'm sure that you guys will have a lot of like comedy material from me at some point about that. Really excited to find that at some point. Anyway, I'm really sad, but you know what's not really sad is what's going to be coming up next on this mic, which is your next comedian. Please give it up for the insatiable, the hilarious, the adjective, the adverb, adjective, noun, Mr. Jesus Christ. I need to look at the room because I literally don't even have the set list up. 1 second.
He's not here.
He's not? Jesus Christ.
He's not here.
No, I didn't think so. Okay, we're going to give this comedian a heads up that they're going next by giving like little hints about them as I introduce them. So this next comedian's initials are JH, and she's been on the mic a few times, and I hear that she might be lesbian inclined. Please give it up for Jessica Hudson. Woo, 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 woo.
Oh, wow, I'm going first and I really have to fucking pee, but I'll hold it. I will hold it. Okay, thank you, Tom, for that great introduction. Yeah, we all know I'm sick of my fucking jokes. I've been hearing that lately from fellow comedians. And I also just realized how high I am. Fuck. Okay. As you know, I turned 40, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I'm a lesbian. I live with my mom and I really can't remember the rest. I was on my way to the bathroom the other day at work, and I really had to pee again. I always have to pee. I was wondering to myself why I went back to being straight. Okay. I had my first experience as with a woman at 24 years old, and I loved it so much that I broke up with my boyfriend who I lived with. I left him for my supervisor at work, who is a female. And then I did, what we all would have done, is I moved out with my mom. Yeah. My first female lover, Brenda, broke up with me 2 months later. We remained friends, best friends, in fact. She's the one that took me to all the lesbian bars back when I was 24. I felt like I was sliding into home, AKA scissoring. So why did I go back to being straight? I really am pondering this at 40. I started thinking a bit about my dating history with men. Here's a glimpse into the pathetic realm of dating as a straight woman. I met Doug by chance. Just kidding. I carefully crafted it and stalked him at the laundromat. He was folding clothes. I was done. I waited for the perfect moment to approach him. There's nothing like a guy admitting he doesn't have a washer and dryer. I was really turned on by it. I waited for the perfect time when he was so caught off guard and distracted while loading his car with his laundry. I went up to him. I was like, oh my God, don't I know you from somewhere? And he's like, he literally looked at me like I was crazy, and he was right. He said, no, I don't know you. I'm like, no, I know you from somewhere. And he was like, no, I don't. I was like, anyway, let's exchange numbers. Like, this is a chance meeting. I think we should go out sometime. So we did go out. He believed me. That was carefully crafted, and he's very stupid and gullible. We went to Applebee's. Okay. I love chain restaurants. I'm sorry. I'm super white and I like food that gives me a lot of gas. I ordered 2 dips. I ordered a spinach and artichoke dip and a cheesy dip. And he stopped me and was like, what did you just do? And I was like, I ordered. He's like, did you just order 2 dips? I was like, yeah. He's like, that's 2 separate dips for you. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, I've never seen anyone do that. He's like, he was appalled. He couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that he was like scolding me at dinner. I thought I was dating my dad for a moment. he made the waitress more uncomfortable than me. Every time she came back to like check on us, he was like, dips. And she was like, oh, well, here's the dip. He said, I haven't even tried to sleep with you yet, and you're ordering 2 dips. And I was fucking offended that he thought my vagina was worth 2 dips. I was like, you better fucking throw in some mozzarella sticks with that shit. I ended up, this is new, so I totally forgot my train of thought, but I don't even know how much time I have. Tom, help me.
You're good. We got a small room tonight, so you take all the time you need.
You're like, this is really pathetic.
He just hit the clock.
No, he just couldn't believe that I ordered it. I couldn't believe I was still dating him. I continued to date him because he was such a Seinfeld fan. He quoted Seinfeld. That's how we talked. We talked in Seinfeld, and it's hard to find that really cool person that knows every episode like me and really enjoy that humor. Some people take it for granted or they just don't understand it. But yeah, I had to end it though. After he, I don't have a punchline here. I'm going to go to the next joke. I ended up going out with another guy after this subsequently, and I was a little bit older. I was 35. When I met Doug, I was 31. I met this guy named Keegan at the Padre game. And first of all, his name was Keegan. I should have known. But he was 27 and he invited me out to Islands. Like I said, I love chain restaurants. And he picked me up and the night was going really well. We get into the parking lot and he goes, hey, you know what? Let's do something really, spontaneous. Let's drink beer in the parking lot. And I was like, oh man, this is 1995. I'm in high school again. I was like, this guy does not have money to pay for drinks. All right, I'll humor him. Let's drink your warm beer out of the can. We were drinking the 6-pack, whatever. We go into Applebee's and he fucking ordered 2 sides of fries. And I was like, who does that? I haven't even tried to sleep with you. But he ended up not having money to pay. So when the waitress came over, she gave him the check and then he slid it over to me. So I paid, and then, I did what most girls would have done. I invited him over after that.
Woo,
woo, woo, woo.
And he stunk up my living room with his socks that were black but were once white. And then he bit his nails and spit it on my carpet during the whole movie. So and then it was a scary movie, so he was like holding on to me while he was multitasking. Anyway, this is a rough joke, so I'm done. Thank you guys for laughing. It's just pitiful. I'm pitiful. Thank you.
Woo, 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 woo. Give it up one more time for Jessica Hudson. She is not pitiful, but you know what is pitiful? I don't know. I don't really have a segue for that. But segues are pitiful, especially when I try to do them. But our next comic is going to be hilarious. She loves long walks. By the way, guys, I have the set list pulled up now, which is probably a good call. But she loves long walks and good jazz. What's bad jazz, you ask? It's what she sounds like trying to emulate jazz. She's still to comedy. Oh, and she does Weekend Remedy on Saturdays which is on vacation until May. But when it comes back in May, you should definitely check it out because it's a good time and it's awesome. Give it up for Grace Snyder! Woo, 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 woo!
There you go. That's my jazz. All right, that's just horrible, and I'm sorry for anyone who's actually talented. Oh my God, Miles Davis is rolling over in his grave. Oh my God. He's wild. I just want to. I think I'm gonna go dark really quickly. I'm just gonna start with. What would a species from a peaceful planet say if they came to our planet and they were like looking around? They're like, I'm sorry. For 400 years, you guys did what to another people? I'm sorry. We just don't understand. And like, maybe they actually are going to take us into slavery because and we're like trying to say, no, don't do it. It's not good. And they're like, really can't see how you can justify us not doing what we're going to do. I watched a video recently of a young man killed in the neighborhood I used to live in Chicago. And I just was like, holy shit. Like, it's just so obvious. Like, if that had happened in the 50s and it was we'll say if it was a black man and a white man and the black man shot the white man, they would have put him on a lynching tree, like immediately. That's how dark our history is. And yet this police officer gets away with it. It's just fucking bullshit. I'm so angry. So angry. So I'm gonna go to another place. I'm just angry. I don't know if I'm getting canceled because of my anger. But again, think about an alien species coming. Let's say they're totally peaceful and they're like, they want no harm, but they look at us and they're like, what's great about your place? Like, peace. Like, they're like, maybe we'll take the elephants and the giraffes. They look cool, but otherwise, you guys can have that shit. They're just like, you keep that shit. You keep your animosity and your racism and your stupidity and your jealousy and all that shit. You just keep it. We'll take some of the animals, the cool ones. Man, and those giraffes get away. There was a group of giraffes that was recently rescued from an island in, I can't remember what African nation, but they were basically like, this place was flooding, global warming much. And they were like, they put these blinders on this giraffe. This looks so comical. I hate to say it. I was like, is this a comedy channel? This is great. Poor giraffe. But then they take him to a new place and the giraffe's like, what the fuck? I can just see it like thinking, maybe I should swim back to where I came. This place sucks. I don't know. Just like, I don't know what giraffes think. They have these little things on top of their heads. And I was at the Field Museum recently. And like, I've always wondered, they're kind of cute. They stick out like this. Like that, they're usually straight on them. They're not crooked like my hairstyle. But they they actually use them for fighting, and I think that's so weird. I'm like, who's getting up there and fighting them? Get it? Like, really, other giraffes? I mean, you'd think they would just break their necks immediately fighting other giraffes. Just doesn't seem like a good idea. Someone needs to have a long conversation with them. I'm just going to bring this up again. Also very controversial. I'm just going all over the place today. I just want to say, I want to bring back imaginary friends. Okay. I'm lonely is what I'm trying to say. But they don't have to wear a mask around me. I can take them wherever I want to go. Just they listen. It's great. Another things I've been doing by myself include cutting my own hair, and I haven't seen the back of it. It's great. You do when you live with two roommates who you don't want to have touch you. I don't know. What can I say? My name's Grace. It's great to be here. I'm not going to run the late. And thank you. Giraffes, winners.
Woo, woo, woo. Give it up for Grace Snyder, everybody. That's what we got, aliens. Giraffes, elephants, and systemic racism. That is what you have to look forward to on your trip to Earth. Also, I just want to say for the whole imaginary friends bit, like, you guys realize I am one step away from, like, being an imaginary friend. Like, I was looking up VTuber stuff today, and I don't know if you realize, but if I ever, like, invest in that lifestyle, you're literally going to have this mic hosted by, like, an anthropomorphic raccoon. Like, the guy that's, like, advertising all the shows is actually going to be here, and it's not going to be a fun show anymore. It's going to be scary, and we're going to be overrun. Anyway, that being said, enjoy the last TB&J Open Mic. No. I'm just kidding. But our next comic is hilarious. He's a Boston-based motherfucker. Which, of course, has to be said with whatever accent that was. But give it up for the fabulous, the hilarious Josh Mandel. Woo, 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 woo.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Tom. I used to have seizures, which actually gave me like a whole new perspective on life. It was a really shaky perspective, but it was definitely a new one. And one time I had one. funny now. One time I had one on a I had one on an airplane. So let me just say fuck Delta, but I had one on an airplane. And it was really weird to have one on an airplane because like I was the turbulence. All right, so it's the flight to Israel. Start having a seizure. For the first 30 seconds, no one does anything because they're just like, yeah, it's just he's speaking Hebrew. Heard someone yell Mazel Tov, and I was like, that is not why glass is breaking right now. We're not on the same page. Yeah, and then the captain comes over the loudspeaker. He says, hi guys, this is your captain speaking. Which, by the way, like, what else is it going to be like? Hey guys, this is Jake. So he comes over the loudspeaker and he says, are there any doctors on this flight? And it was a flight to Israel. So everybody stood up and said, what specialty? And then I heard someone say, before I passed out, I heard someone say, here's what I heard them say is, should I open the emergency exit?
Oh God.
Yeah. That's what the seizure kid needs is to be pushed out of a plane at 30,000 feet in the air off an inflatable yellow slide so that the people on the ground can look up and think that there's a bird who's been cartoonishly electrocuted flying towards them. So fuck Delta is what I'm trying to say. I almost got canceled. I don't know if I told you. I almost got canceled. Here's what happened is, I get a notification on my phone. Tiger Woods has been in a car crash and injured his legs. Okay, so I screenshot it and I tweet, "Good thing golf is one of them classic upper body only sports." And then. Yeah, right. Because I thought I was tweeting about someone who like spraying their leg. You know what I mean? And then 10 minutes later, I get a notification saying that he's in critical condition, and you know what I mean. So that's part of me almost getting canceled. But that seizure on an airplane, though, huh? I have a friend named Pedro who has he has a gigantic penis. I'm sorry to tell you guys that. I just couldn't be the only one to know. You know what I mean? You never want to be the only one to know. It's like knowing about a murder or something. Yeah, no, but I'm starting to think like low key, like he spread that rumor. Like that's a great rumor to start at the beginning of high school. Like, yo, like just so you know, I have a huge penis. And by the end of high school, everybody knew. Like that shit was like low key, basically part of the curriculum. Oh yeah, Pedro. Yeah, he has a 9-inch penis. What else? Tell me something I don't know. All right, so that's a little bit about Pedro. Yeah, I'm just trying to think. I have. Do you think that for a profession with so many amputees, it's a little insensitive for it to be called the Army? Maybe too far. I don't know. That's not. If you think that's bad, like imagine living in Vietnam and being named Charlie. That would be even worse. Well, anyways, glad I killed the end of my set there. Thank you so much for having me on, Tom. I see Daniel. Daniel was avoiding a facepalm, but he couldn't even. All right, anyways, thank you.
Give it up for Josh Mandel, everybody.
Josh Mandel.
Yeah, I gotta say, yeah, as far as like big penises go, if you're watching Mark Hallworth, I remember your name and that you have a 13-inch penis.
Pedro's
both
jumping
of those
on.
things are true. What? Who's jumping
Pedro's joining, Mike.
Oh God. Wait. Oh God. Here we go. I thought that was a joke for a second, but I guess he's actually here. What's the updated set list? Does who is next change, or is that still the same? You tell me.
Next
Brooke.
is the same.
Okay,
it's
great.
Daniel changed his name.
I'm just gonna pretend like big penises aren't entering the room. Do we have Mr. Christopher Alio in the room? Let's see. No, we do not. Next up on the list, we have. Here we go. Oh no, I skipped somebody anyway, so that's good that they're not here. Our next comedian, he's great. He's a cool guy, and he's Canadian. Give it up for Evan Klim. Woo, woo, woo,
Thanks, Tom.
woo.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Hey, everyone, it's Evan Klim. Hope you're all having a good night tonight. Hey, do you guys remember when you learned cursive writing in elementary school? Round of applause.
Yeah.
I don't. So like we got a lesson of it in grade 3, but it really wasn't much of a lesson. All it was is our teacher sifting through the class, looking for the students who she could trust to write in pen without using all of the whiteout. like looking back, if you use too much whiteout, that was a red flag. So after a week of us practicing the alphabet and writing out all of our names, the teacher was like, okay, that was interesting. You 6 students, you're allowed to write in cursive. The rest of you, just stop. Yeah. And she awarded those 6 students like these gold pens. That was like, the prize of the week. Hey, if you can write well enough in cursive, you get these nice pens. While she gave the rest of us, well, we disappointed our parents. That was it. Yeah, that's right. So like I actually have no idea how to write in cursive at all. So like every time I print out something, my letters are all these like big blocks and like awkward letters. It looks like every time I write something down, it looks like it's a ransom note. Yeah. Like the other guy, I sent my girlfriend this nice little cute letter in the mail asking her if she wanted to go for like a little date in the park and like a little walk.
Aww.
Yeah. And when she showed up, she came with this briefcase filled with $10,000 of unmarked bills. And I was like, honey, where'd you get all that money? And she's like, don't worry, it's Monopoly money. I was like, oh, thank God. Good. Yeah. Okay. So there's this friend of mine and he's like, oh man, Evan, you got to get into the Grateful Dead. You'd love it. And guys, I gave the Grateful Dead a bit of a listen. I did. And their music really bored me. It wasn't for me at all. And then I told my friend that. He was like, oh man, you didn't give them a good chance. I was like, what do you mean? You got to listen to them while you're on drugs and stuff. They're amazing that way. I was like, Jared, everything is amazing when you're on drugs. Come on, seriously, man. Like, you ever go on Jerry duty while you're on drugs? Man, it's amazing. It's amazing how you can judge people with your third eye like that. Come on, man. You got to do a better job with that. So I feel like I really have to do a better job at buying things off of Amazon. Like, okay, I don't know if this is relatable at all, but I buy a lot of junk off of Amazon. And it's like, actually, it's stuff that I need, but I'm just wasting money on buying shitty products. That's what it is. So what I've been doing like now, like, because, like you buy a couple of things, like, what, I should be reading reviews. That's what I should be doing. Before I buy these products, I need to read the reviews. So the other day I was looking to buy myself like a set of T-balls. To keep my loose leaves together for tea. You know what I'm talking about for it? Yeah. I don't want to keep on buying tea bags. I was like, let's get some metal balls in my tea. That's it, So what I'm doing is I'm reading this one review from this one person on this set of tea balls. And it said it gave it 1 star. You can look at the first review first, and it gave it 1 star. And it says, don't buy this if you want to waste your money. No, it said buy this if you want to waste your money. Okay. That's what it said. Buy this if you want to waste your money. I was like, what a catchy headline that is. He should write like headlines for the New York Times or something, or for BuzzFeed. Get some good clickbait on that one. So then I look at that, and it's like, and the first line of this said, Amazon, you did it again. I was like, okay, sounds like this guy's been fooled a couple of times. Okay, he's like, and then it said, I've given you another $14 of mine. Don't buy this product if you want to have loose leaves in your tea. I was like, well, there's only 1 star is there out of like 500 reviews. Oh, I'm just going to buy it anyways. And I did buy it. Fuck, he was right. Oh, man. Okay. Anyways, hey, that's my time. Y'all have a good night. Okay. Thanks for listening. Peace out.
Give it up for Evan Klim, everybody. I'm sorry, but I just have to say, like, I need you to keep in your set forever in, like, perpetuity. Like, the New York Times or BuzzFeed, equivalent publications like that. I thought that was fantastic. Yeah, it's like,
Yahoo News.
Stuff that people really
Or
read.
AOL.
BuzzFeed and the New York Times. Oh, God. How they have fallen is the statement I'm making about that. Anyway, next up, hey, Brooks. you know, this next comedian, I don't know why I singled you out like this. She's a Canadian edgelord comic. You may have heard of her with her support of disgusting Canadian ketchup chips, which we all know are disgusting, and her hot takes. I'm ad-libbing here a little bit, but her hot takes on American snack foods in New Jersey, which I can't disagree, is a trash dump. Give it up for Desiree Walsh. Woo, 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 woo!
Hello. It is I, the Canadian edgelord. Yeah. On Saturday, I have to do an hour presentation talking to a youth group about comedy. I do not know how they found me. It's concerning. Yeah, it is. So I'm not gonna bother doing the preamble because I think like everyone knows that I'm Canadian and I'm in a wheelchair, just in case that comes up. Yeah. But I went to see my parents over Easter. They live in a very small town in northern Ontario. They have no cases. It's like I don't know what the American equivalent is. Somewhere in Illinois, I think you guys have a lot of farmland. Or is that Nebraska that has a lot of farmland?
It's the whole middle.
Whole middle. Yeah. So the middle of the, that's where they live, but in Canada. Yeah. So we were having dinner and my dad just said pretty much unprovoked, there are a lot of gay people at my work now. And I said, it is interesting that so many new coworkers are coming up and telling you their sexual orientation. Is there something I should know? And he said no, but it wasn't so much that they were gay. It was that he didn't know what gender they were. And he just worried because what if he needed to talk to one of them? And I said, why would you need to talk to anybody or know your coworkers' genders? You work in a steel factory alone. Oh shit, yeah. So he said that he didn't, but like he just kind of worried. So I said, okay, it's easy. Just ask them their name and use that. And he said that was okay, but what if he needed a pronoun like he or she? And he didn't know. So I said, just use they, them. And then my mom busted in like a Batman villain to be like, actually, I think that's offensive and here's why. And I said, Mom, we will listen to your hate speech TED Talk later. Dad's job is on the line. So we need to keep this simple. So we decided on a plan that everybody likes. We made him a sign. It's bright green and it says, my daughters say I can't talk to you. Please go find someone else to help you. This is for my own good and yours. Yes. If any of his coworkers should approach. Yeah. My dad just turned 65, so he's looking quite forward to going to the bank and telling them what it used to be before it was a bank. Yeah. Thank you. That's my time.
Woo, 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 woo. Give it up a Desiree Walsh. I'm getting smaller and smaller and shrinking. No, I'm not. That was acting. Anyway, sorry. Clearly, I'm in a weird mood tonight. But you know who's probably not in a weird mood tonight? Our next comic, who is going to have me just give some really honest info for their intro. You know, you all probably know him as, you know, the funny guy on the mic with the sleep apnea and likes to, I don't know, chew on things with his eyeballs because they're not eyes and they're teeth. Give it up hilariously for Ralph Anthony. Woo, woo,
yeah.
woo!
Oh, yeah. Here we go, you motherfuckers. That's right.
God.
Sleep apnea, chewing on my shit. Hell yeah. A regular circus freak sideshow that we got going on here. Welcome to the land of misfits, Elvin Klein and Allie Lewis. Thank you for turning your cameras on. Fuck yeah. Nice. All right. In addition to having sleep apnea, I am also an only child. Not only I'm an only child, my girlfriend's an only child, and she has a daughter, making her an only child. So you know what that means, Daniel Flores. We have to have another kid. Like, we have to. You can't have 3 only children living together under one roof. It's actually against the law. Because that's the thing. Fun fact, being an only child is one of those things that should be a crime, but it isn't. Only children have weird childhoods in that we don't really have them. Like I wasn't my parents' child. I was more like their independent contractor. You know, like technically we're a part of the family, but really we're just the third wheel. I don't know about you, but I've just been chaperoning my parents' marriage for the last 35 years. People love to say only children are spoiled. It's not that we're spoiled. We're just the only option. It would be weird if our parents didn't spend money on us. People like to think that only children have issues. They think that we have an issue and we have problems. No, we don't have issues. We don't have problems. We just struggle with the idea knowing that we are our parents' last resort. Because people can only adopt dogs for so long. Am I right? You know, there's a lot of pressure to be an only child. Because we are our parents' only shot at parental success. And it's funny to me. It's funny to me that our parents would get upset when we only applied to one college. Yet they didn't think to have any safety net kids. I've literally walked the 2 Russian bots joking around about being an only child. That's fantastic. I hated it. Growing up, it was always so hard for me because both my parents worked, and so I had no one to play with. So I was always coming up with a new imaginary friend, much like the 2 people that just left. None of my imaginary friends ever stayed. The worst part about being an only child and having an imaginary friend was it was tough playing video games. Like, do you know how hard it is to play Mortal Kombat with your imaginary friend? They never know how to play. They just stand there. Didn't stop there though. Anything I did, like I had to either be hide or seek. I was always a Marco, never a Polo. Listen, don't even get me started at basketball. Oh, basketball was always the worst because I was shirts up top and skins on the bottom. And it's probably the reason why I'm not allowed at the public park anymore. All right, you guys have been great. Thank you so much. I'm Ralph.
Woo, 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 woo. Give it up around Anthony, everybody. Woo, 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 woo. All right, next up on our mic is this next comedian, and it's his I believe it's his first time on the mic, so I'm really excited to have him, really excited to have some new energy, new blood in the room. Give it up for the I'm sure to be hilarious Allie Lewis. Woo, 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 woo.
Oh, what's up? Hey, thanks so much, Tom. I'm really glad that I made a very memorable impression the first time I was here.
Damn, sorry.
I can totally tell that I killed, so the pressure is a lot less now. Being thanks you again. I'm Ali. I'm from a dangerous place in Chicago, called Chicago. Everybody's got a shot to be on TV. That is one thing about Chicagoans. We all got a shot to be on TV. It'll be the news because we got shot, but you know, no press. Sad but true. Sad but true. I live, in a gated community. I don't think it's a good one though. I don't think it's a good gated community. There's subtle signs of a bad gated community. One of them is that I walked past the other day of a little pit bull by itself, a loose ass pit bull, no leash, no collar, no owner, no Sarah McLachlan, just they were clearly the alpha of the situation. They were running it. There's a lot of rappers. There's a lot of a lot of world star hip hop videos are recorded which is cool. I love hip hop. I love rap. I'm starting now to get to that age. I don't like rappers as much because they say and they do the most dumbest shit. Like they love to lie about how much they love, how much weed they sell, how many people they kill, how many people they sleep with, how much they love the hood. Rappers love telling you how much they love the hood. There isn't shit about the hood. Okay, let me just tell you, this is a very undiverse room. We need to start promoting these mics on BET, like Twitter. There isn't a lot of things in the hood. You don't got stores, you don't got schools, you don't even got hospitals. You got minute clinics and free clinics. And minute clinics are that nasty shit that's inside Walgreens and CVS and free clinics. If you've never been to either, or picture like a tiny emergency room with no urgency to give a fuck about you or your needs in that moment. I go to this spot called Healthcare Professionals, and they are neither of those three things. And they're mad as fuck that you came to their job sick, okay? They are mad that you showed up to that clinic with the sniffles. And anyway, you got all these rappers on the gram, right? They put on with bands and making it all dripped out. And I think to myself, like, what would I do if I was in that position, if I had that kind of money, right? And I think to myself, I bet I would just get health insurance because I'm not trying to get a serious diagnosis in the same place where I can get a Redbox DVD, Gatorade, and battery. Again, the medical industry, if I'm just talking to y'all people about. And there's a lot of shit that be filmed in my neighborhood. We got Vice TV show that films out, Chicago PD films in my neighborhood constantly. I don't like cops, but I love cop shows, if that makes sense. Because I'm really racially ambiguous. I'm Black and I'm Mexican, but Blacks think I look Mexican, Mexican think I look Puerto Rican. Meanwhile, Chicago PD is like spread your cheeks and cough. It's just a weird thing in a situation that I'm in, you know? So I'm kind of leery, but in cops, I love cop shows because in the shows and the movies, they're always honest. They're always they're never racist. They always catch the bad guy. So it's kind of like that girlfriend experience in the champagne room, like, you know, it's fake. It just makes you feel nice and warm inside. Which is why I like to step back. You know, we got a lot of this thing here. I got like in less than a minute. So I like to practice self-care. So I wake up every morning, do my affirmations, and I take a vitamin B, which I call blinds. Because that's what weed is at this point. It's just kale, I think, in comparison to every other drug. So my opinion to that is just smoke more, fuck more, and love more. And I think we'll be okay to 2021 and above. So my name is Ali. Thanks, Tom, again.
Give it up for Ollie, everybody, and also not gonna forget you next time. That's for damn sure. Oh God, that was funny. Okay, next up, clearly I'm losing it. So our next comedian's very special and intercepting the lineup because he's also taking over for me as co-host. He's also the fantastic host of Fancy Mike, which you can get tickets to for a show tomorrow at 8 Eastern at district-comedy.com/fancy or use the link in the description. Give it up for Brooksy Poopsy. Woo.
All right, you guys. Wow, welcome to the second half of the show, sponsored by Suckin' Dicks in Weird Positions brand hot dogs.
Yeah.
Are you hungry? Suck on some dicks. Thanks, Ali. I remembered your first performance, but not enough to like warn Tom about it. We're just there.
Damn.
That Ralph was talking about being an only child, and like, dude, there's no shame in being an only child. No need to worry. I had a little brother growing up, and we did not get along at all. Like, the only time when we got along was when we would convince each other to jump off of progressively dumber things. Because like, what the hell else are you gonna do in the middle of nowhere, Maine? Like, okay, so we got some snow on the ground. Like, what are we gonna do? Let's put skis on and ski off the garage roof. That's a thing. Oh, hey, you're bored one summer? Let's jump off this cliff. How deep's the water underneath it? I don't know, but it's something to do. And growing up in Maine, though, like the weird thing is, this is the weirdest part about growing up in Maine. And I wish Josh was still here so I could tell him this.
No, he died.
We were so isolated for civilization that the city we idolized the most to get away from this rural town in Maine, small town, was Boston. How desperate in your life do you have to be where Boston is the city you escape to? Like, oh, I got to get out of this location and escape to a place with a bunch of drunken Irishmen who don't pronounce that correctly. I watch a lot of House Hunters now because I'm a millennial and I can never afford a home of my own. So I have to live vicariously through others with this. But the big thing for me is I don't like watching House Hunters for looking at the nice kitchens or looking at the nice apartments. I like looking at House Hunters so I can see which couples are going to get divorced. It's great because you're watching these two couples together and they're like, we're buying $1 million home, but I want to buy a thing in the suburbs and he wants to buy a thing in the middle of nowhere and wants his man cave that he pushes for everything and doesn't value my opinions whatsoever. And I'm just looking forward to both of them breaking up. Like, I want to do a follow-up episode of House Hunters and see how many couples I've accurately guessed split up. And the most accurate one that I've come up with, though, came from House Hunters International. Because in House Hunters International, there was this woman who went on vacation and she met this man in Australia and she was like, I need to be more spontaneous and say yes to life. So they started dating, and after 2 weeks of dating on her vacation, she decided, I'm going to move to Australia and we're going to be together and have a house together. And then he reveals, oh, by the way, the house we're buying is going to be in the middle of the Australian outback on a spider farm. And these are my 2 kids that I didn't mention until you moved to Australia and we're buying a house together. I have never had a harder erection than watching just the realization of this woman making the worst decision of her life flash before her eyes. That's all I got. Just some weird things. All right, you guys. Welcome to the final part of the mic. I'm real excited. I want to welcome to the mic next. Give it up for Sita. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Yes.
All right, guys. Give it up for Sita. Yeah.
Thank you so much, guys. My actual name is Sitaraman Radhakrishnan, but according to Starbucks, they say it's ramen noodles. I am a clean comedian. Fuck yeah. I just got my DNA test results back. It said you are 100% cheap. First pay as you moron. I just got my paternity test results back. It said you are 100% not the father of Priya. Thank God that's the neighbor's kid. I just got my drug test results back. It said you are 100% negative for all recreational drugs. Then what the hell was I snorting all this time, Mr. Drug Dealer? I see dead people. No, that's the slogan for Boynton Beach, Florida, where I live. I didn't believe in ghosts until I went to the Boynton Beach Walmart. I pissed off a lady there and she tried to give me the finger, but it fell off. Any dog owners here? You know, getting a puppy changed my life, guys. Before puppy, I was really afraid of dogs. After puppy, now I'm afraid of puppies too. Before puppy, girls would give me the finger and walk away. After puppy, their fingers are all over my puppy. Only problem is my puppy keeps biting me when she needs attention, just like my wife. Bollywood movies are fun, but they are a little long. Like I started watching a Bollywood movie last night. It's still running. And they have all these songs where the hero and the girlfriend run around a tree. Yeah, they make love to each other and to the tree. It's a threesome. Everybody is going through something in my household. Yep, I'm going through midlife crisis. My kids are going through teenage life crisis. My wife is going through my emails and texts. Even my puppy was going through some dog shit earlier. I am a computer engineer by race. My first word was not mama, it was Java. And when my friends were out there doing drugs like PCP, I was doing TCP/IP. And if you didn't understand that joke, congratulations, you have a life. I don't. I get heckled a lot when I do comedy, guys. The worst heckler should have been there was a bunch of drunk girls, and this girl was like, "You're so ugly. I'm sure you're still a virgin." I was like, that does not make any sense. We have 2 kids together, my dear wife. Sitting in front row of a comedy show is like an Indian guy walking through airport security. Yeah, you can avoid eye contact, but you're going to get picked. Yeah, I have had more groping action with the TSA than in my marriage.
Oh, shit.
Growing up in India was tough, guys. I got kidnapped one time and they made me call my dad for a ransom. He was like, "How much money do they want? Say hello to your new foster parents for me." Thank you so much, guys. Thanks, Tom.
Woo woo.
All right, you guys.
And thanks, Brooks. Sorry.
Wow, Sita, I was the one who let you sneak into the mic and you came on my show and you thanked Tom
Okay, I
first?
sent him the link, so like it was a
I
joint
thanked
effort.
both of you guys.
Yeah.
I thanked both. I thanked both. I thanked both.
Don't make it weird, Brooks. Let's move on.
No, this is the Make It Weird mic, sponsored by
Woo.
Sucking on Dicks brand hot dogs. Are you hungry? Put a dick in your mouth.
Not
Okay,
good.
you guys,
It's just
I
not
am and speaking of sucking on dicks, our next comedian has a 9-inch penis. Give it up for Daniel Flores.
What's up, guys?
What?
All right, we're gonna try some stuff. I don't know how you know that, Brooks, but all right. So my birthday was recent. It was April 2nd. I was supposed to be born on April 1st, though. So this is what happened. So most babies, when they're about to be born, they kind of like fall into this like flat head first laying down shape, kind of like how I'm standing. You can't really see it very well, but they do like this really flat, skinny shape in the womb. So like, which I think it's that I'm messing it up. The purpose of that is that they can fit through the birth canal very easily, which is really considerate, seeing how they're about to spend many years being the most selfish being in their household, you know? It's also really impressive that they come built in with that knowledge. Like babies know how to do 3 things when they're born: cry, drink milk, and shimmy through a canal. It's great. More than can be said for the captain of a certain ship recently. However, I was different. I was a comedian from day one, right? So when my mom was about to go into labor, I curled into a ball. And what that means, like, a ball shape is a little harder to push out a vagina. Like, if you're having trouble visualizing that, think of the last time you had a really big poop and it took longer to push out. Yeah, we're just poop. It's like the one I'm holding in right now.
Wow.
All right, did not like the poop joke. Noted. So I curled into this ball shape. My mom went into what's called prolonged labor. She was in labor for 18 hours, starting April 1st, and I plopped out April 2nd. Which is the greatest April Fool's prank of all time. All right, let's try something a little different. Let's talk about racial tension, guys.
Woo!
That's something everyone wants to hear from the mouth of a Mexican 12-year-old, isn't it? No, let's talk about it. It's hard these days. It's harder than it's ever been to be white, you know? At least, I don't know. That's what my white friend tells me. I believe him. You know, like a lot of people have it out for white people these days, specifically white women. It's like just turn on Fox News. They're always talking about that white on white violence. Yeah. I don't know. I don't mind like the white women who are like, yeah, I have white privilege, but I'm aware of it and I'm trying to help people with it. Like those people are cool. I mean the white women specifically who are like, white people are the scum of the earth and contribute nothing to society. Like, really? No. White people gave us California burritos. That wasn't us. Like, you know a Hispanic did not come up with that because there are no rice and beans in that. That's all you, whitey. Nah, but as hard as it is to be white, it's also hard these days to be black in our society, and I think that's illustrated very well with the recent shooting of Dante Wright. Like the story is messed up. I think we all know it. He was shot by a police officer who thought she had pulled out her taser, or at least that's the story. Now let's just suppose that that's true for a second. How bad at your job do you have to be? Like, who's gotten the COVID vaccine recently? Yeah. How mad would you be if they just finished administering the shot and then the nurse goes, whoops, that was the lethal injection. Yeah, you'd be really mad. You'd probably be like, wait, shouldn't you have training to know the difference between a vaccine and a lethal injection? And they would probably go something like, yeah, you know, after being a nurse for 26 years, I think I know the difference by now. And you'd be confused how you'd be really confused how they got the two mixed up. You'd be like, shouldn't there be like a clear difference between the two? And they'd probably go something like, yeah, you know, like the lethal injection is like labeled in a clear, bright red. That's probably supposed to help me tell the difference between the two. And then you'd be like, should you even have a lethal injection here? And they're like, I don't know, you know, I probably shouldn't be allowed to handle either of these. All right, I'm way over my time. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Brooks.
All right, you guys, keep it going for Daniel Flores. All right, let's try this again. Dear future Chris, I bet this week's been hard on you. Well, guess what? You're about to crush this set and turn that all around. You got this, Chris. Sincerely, Sunday Chris.
Hell yeah!
Is that way more sentimental than you thought it'd be?
He's already spotlit.
And I'm awesome. I'm just so great.
Woo!
Am I starting?
Yeah.
Yeah, your timer's going and everything.
Do you need me to pause it now? Should I go back?
Yeah, reset the time.
Okay,
Reset the clock.
It's not like such a reset. It's really like I'm just kind of feeling out where I feel 4 minutes is. Okay, now it's going.
I think before he starts and we run the timer, let's give it up for me and my sentimental dad voice.
Put it back again, right? Okay.
Put it back. Let's give it up for me and my sentimental dad voice.
And Chris Alio! Woo!
Yes, you know, it's going to be a good set when it takes 3 tries to start.
Most professional.
I'm feeling excited. I got my first COVID dose on Monday. Very fucking about that shit. Which means in about like 3 or 4 weeks, I can start getting not invited to shit again. It's going to be looking forward for that shit. No, I'm excited. Like, I want to start going to like parties again, just like living life. Like, that's the thing I missed the most from the pandemic. Is just like I couldn't go to any parties, and like not only just like going to parties, but like I missed like the small mischief one can get themselves into at a party. Like I would always have this really bad habit when I was drunk at a party where I would just steal things from the house I was in, and then I'd just hide them somewhere else in the same exact house. Kind of like I was an interior designer who like really loves scavenger hunts. That's what I was like. The story I'm about to tell you, I don't know if this was a shitty thing to do, and I guess you guys can choose for yourself. But it was before the pandemic. I was at this party, a friend of a friend's, and I just got way too drunk. And then I got that like impulse, like that voice in the back of my head. Like for whatever reason, I just went into the refrigerator and I just took and hid all of their eggs. It was like I organized an Easter egg hunt that I was the only one who knew about it. I hid the eggs in like really weird places because if you see an egg on your couch, you're like, all right, that's weird. But like maybe I can understand how that got there. But if you see an egg in the toilet, you're just like, do I live with a goose? What is? Yeah. So I was hiding the eggs. I put them like under pillows, like in the microwave. It was weird. I went to sleep that night. I woke up the next morning, and I got a text in a group me. The guy at the party made a group me with everyone who was at the party, and I have the text. I'm going to pull it up on my phone. He sent this in the group chat. It said, "Did anyone see who put eggs randomly around the house last night? Because if you know who it is, let them know I truly hate them from the bottom of my heart." My text in that group chat got 27 likes. So to answer my previous question, was that a shitty thing to do? Resounding yes. Nobody liked it. Oh boy. Like I think a lot of people, I have a dad. My dad, he's just like the least romantic. Like he's just not thoughtful. He's the least romantic person I've ever met in my entire life. My dad treats being romantic. Sorry. My dad treats being romantic like the. I'm being heckled by laughter. Is that even possible? It's like he's so unromantic. My dad treats being romantic like the NFL treats caring about black people. He's just like, I'll do it only when I have to, and that's it. My dad proposed to my mother in his garage. Think about that. My dad is so dumb. In his mind, he felt that the most appropriate place to ask the love of his life to spend the rest of their days together was just in a garage. What was the thought process there? Like he was working on his car and then he stopped for a second. He was like, shit, I still got to figure out where to propose to Laura. Fuck it, this works. All right, let's just do this. I just end on this thought. As a result of that, like I'm just not romantic. I'm not very thoughtful. I'm not good at like sharing my emotions. Like I'm so bad about telling my parents about my personal life. Like I'll go months without of dating a girl, and like I will forget to tell my parents. Like I know it's gonna be at some point in the future. It's gonna be like the day before my wedding. I'm gonna be trying on my tux, and I'm just gonna be like, oh no, wait, mom, shit. Like invite her without her knowing. Like I'm gonna call her up and be like, hey mom, what are you doing this weekend? Like, nothing much. I'm just going to church on Sunday. I'm gonna be like, come on Saturday. Okay, that's all I have. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Give it up for Chris, everybody. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to heckle you with my laughter, but I couldn't help. All I was thinking through, like, the first part of your set was like, yeah, I'm also mad at my dad. He needs to be more romantic. Come on, Dad.
That's funny.
Show
That's
me
a
some
good...
of that sugar. My sugar daddy, anyway. Yeah, feel free. No, great set. I'm gonna take us out of here tonight. So real quick, I just want to give a shout out to everybody who is watching the stream, all the comedians who perform, my awesome co-host Brooks, and of course, if you enjoyed the show and want to support the stream, please consider making a donation of any size at district-comedy.live. And if you want to support Fancy Mike, which is happening tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, because I can't say it enough, because I want some more tickets, you can do that at district-comedy.com/fancy.